Hello, everybody, and welcome. We're back with the Celtic on the Stick to View. My name is Ryan Clifford. Looking a bit fresh face, Alan. Got a haircut, so we're all looking good, big man. Join me in this different occasion again, Alan. Due to circumstances we're on in the afternoon. Join me on this episode is Alan. How are you, Alan? Obviously, St Johnstone Sunday, mate. Try to be a bit of a positive. I think we'll try to be a bit of a positive, mate. Obviously, we've deflected the game during the week here, so we've kind of battered a few people in the board and stuff, so we'll try and be a bit more positive we can, but obviously I think some lingering thoughts will be obviously towards the transfer and stuff, mate. But overall, how are you, mate? And I hope you're looking forward to a good weekend.
Aye, pretty well. Aye. Sorry we're late, guys. It took a couple of hours for me to take this beard off here, so aye, that's for the late coming, but aye. No, pretty well. I think we're always positive on this. Can always ever be positive with Celtic, so aye, no, pretty well. Look forward to the weekend, and hope you're well along, my man.
Well, good, mate. Obviously, after the weekend, mate, so that's always good. Celtic are back as well, so in the league, hopefully a positive result, mate. But obviously, as the banner says, for the other day as well, and obviously the aftermath, the signal is clear. Quality is needed. I think, obviously, before we get into the game, mate, I think that is probably the kind of outstanding feeling around the fans, and maybe some of the management as well. The managers talking about quality needed, and McGregor's come out saying hopefully now there'll be money that we spent in January. So there is a bit of pressure, I think, through ourselves, through other platforms, and obviously the media as well. There's a lot of pressure on Celtic to spend money in January, and I think the board will need to take note of that.
I think we've been speaking about it for the summer, probably. I think we all kind of predicted this kind of outcome for the transfer window. I think it's glaringly obvious for fans, players and management, and more importantly, hopefully the board to see that it's glaringly obvious that there's quality that needs to be added if we want to have any ambition at that level. As I said the other day, this is probably going to cover up the cracks a bit, that everything will be rosy again if we get a comprehensive win against St Johnstone, but hopefully the board have taken notice, because I think there's been a few things that obviously the captain said and Brendan says that should be motivating the people upstairs to invest more in the team and the club.
Aye, I think you're spot on, Alan. I think it's not just ourselves and anybody who's kind of commented on the chat for the other day as well and stuff, that it's not really just us, mate. It's having that feeling. It's a lot of fans, and it's all right winning the leagues and winning. I know it's fantastic to win trebles, because triple trebles, listen, it's amazing domestically, but there's only so much we can do in Scotland. As much as winning trebles and stuff like that, it's hard. We want to try and progress in the European side, and I think it's clear, mate, that there's definitely types of signings you can buy that are going to improve you. It doesn't need to be millions of pounds. Just one kind of sign you can mention would be the guy Lazio signed. I think it's Egerton, the guy with 110 up front, or kind of winger type player. He wasn't fantastic for Lazio, but he was decent. And I think he was only £10 million for Denmark or Norway, one of the type countries. So I don't see why we can't do that situation as well. I know that there's been rumours about the striker from Brøndby in the summer. I think the deal was close, but Celtic really couldn't get the deal done in terms of maybe too much money or so. They were talking £4.5 million. If that's the case, that is somebody that will earmark and he's good enough, then just because he's from Denmark, I'm sure it's Denmark, just because he's from Denmark, it doesn't mean it's Denmark, that's Brøndby, so it doesn't mean that he's no good or he's not a talent. In my opinion, there's loads of talent, especially in the Scandinavian outlets. I think there's talent there to be looked at, and you don't always need to spend a lot of money. Look at guys like Patrick Berg in the past, and Solbakken in the past. They've no went for mega money. So there's definitely a talent there to get looked at.
Aye, I think we've seen ourselves with the likes of kind of bringing in Matt Riley for £1.5 million lower league England clubs. You're looking at kind of Bale Hatate for just over £1 million as well. Even Dyson Maida, that's been a relative success at Celtic. That was not far off $1.5 million, I think, as well. So there is deals, but I think the majority of the time you get what you pay for. For the O'Reilly, Hatate and Maida, we've had maybe 10, 15, Haksabanovic, Bernabe, Qual, etc., etc. So usually when you spend the money, it doesn't always work out, but the majority of the time when you spend the money, you get what you pay for. So that we're looking for kind of great scouting in the league we're in, because we know the league we're in, it's no kind of financially brilliant, but we still need to tighten our purse strings. But when they're releasing figures on the board and saying how much profit we're in, how much money's in the bank, then you'd expect them to kind of push the boat out slightly more. I think that's been underwhelming, the amount of money that was spent, because we didn't actually spend any money. It was below what we spent, was below the money that came in for Jota alone, and that's no mentioning like Starfelt money, etc. So we're just looking for a bit more. We're heads under the clouds. We know that we've not got an unlimited budget, but we'd like to push that wee bit more. Don't know if you agree with me, mate.
Not 100%. I think we've got to push a wee bit more. We're not asking, like we've said probably every podcast, Alan, in terms of transfers, we're not asking for mega pounds spent, but we're asking for it to be spent wisely on players that are going to come in and be impact players, not just guys that are going to fill the bench and fill the stands. We've got enough players like that at the moment. Obviously in January, I'm guessing there'll be a few cut. I'd imagine McCarthy will maybe try and get a club if he can. Or put it on loan, because as much as James he'll be happy about getting a good wage and still being a Celtic player. He's still signed as a Celtic player, but I think if you're not playing, Alan, I don't think it's enjoyable. I know it's already having good money and getting money in the bank, but you've got to kind of push on as well. So just some of the comments. Obviously, Ange, she's first again. I'm guessing it's a she. Afternoon, guys. Afternoon, Ange. Plunge says, afternoon, guys. Didn't know you were on today. Plunge, sorry about that, mate. It was just due to circumstances, we've had to do it earlier instead of 8:30 normally. And a Friday, Plunge. But thanks for joining, mate. Appreciate it. But obviously the game is Sunday. Change back to domestic from the Europe. So hopefully there's no European hangover. We have been kind of substantially been progressively thinking about hangovers in Europe. We have dropped points. We're obviously winning games and then maybe no winning games and then come back and no really performing. So I think it's maybe one of the ones again. Like you say, if you go and win the game, it covers the cracks for the kind of European side. But I think in terms of the league, mate, we've got to keep top it. We're at 8 points as it stands. I'd imagine, I know they've not really been good, the team across the water recently. But with the same for the game yesterday and some performances, the wheels maybe seem to be the honeymoon period with the manager that's booing and it's not a good atmosphere across them now. So we've got to capitalise on that. We've got a winning mentality. They've not. We've seen that, I think, 3 or 4 times. We've had 3 draws this year. They've not capitalised. I like to think if that was us, we'd have capitalised. So we can't drop any more points until at least we play them in the 30th, and then we'll go for air. But your 8 points that stands, I'd like to think they'll win their game in hand. So then you're sitting with 5. So there's no really any kind of movement for any hope for them at all if we slip up. So which we don't want. So hopefully, Alan, I'd imagine there might be a few changes. Obviously, if there's any guys feeling tired or needing refresh, but you're hoping on Sunday you just go and kind of get the last result out of your head, go and get a good performance and get a victory as well.
Aye, no, I just hope the new players have got any newborn babies around, because that could be terrible for the performance. There's a well-known manager that said that's obviously detrimental to the players' performance if their wife's had a baby or girlfriend, etc. So I just hope we've not got that in our hands. But Aye, they're game in hands against St Johnstone at home, so I'd fully expect him to pick up 3 points there. So aye, we're into the stage of the season where it's the second phase of the season where we've got the majority of the teams that are looked upon as a harder team at home. So this is a time that we should be kind of picking up maximum points, where the reverse is that we're so-called rivals have got the harder away games. So I'd be expecting kind of that game on the 30th of December at least 5 points clear. I'd be hoping for more. But St Johnstone will be what St Johnstone has been for us away from home for the last kind of few years. I think it was last year, the kind of injury time winner with Giacomakis won it early last year. So you know what you're up against. It's going to be kind of difficult team to break down. If we can find more rhythm, I'm sure that we've got the players and the quality necessary to break these players down. Obviously, a new manager, Craig Levine, that they've brought in. So I really expect them to be too attacking. Maybe the 4-6-0 again, but aye. So it's one of the. It can be a potential banana skin like any away game, but we just, especially after a European away game, but we just need to make sure our players are kind of mentally right and on their game, and if we play the football that we want to play, I'm sure that we should come away for Perth with 3 points.
I think that's the main thing, Alan. It's as much as the performance is the main thing. You want a good performance, but I think when you're getting to this stage of the season where games are coming quick fast and it's freezing cold and stuff like that, you just really want the 3 points. As much as you want a brilliant performance to go with it, I think the most important thing when about near come to Christmas time, it is just getting the victories and ticking games off, because I know it's not Christmas time yet, but leading into Christmas time, there will be a few games where you might get some tired legs, you might get players who are not fully fresh because of the time scale. I know people will say that, yes, they're athletes and they should be, but I'm sure it was Harry Kane, I think it was last year or the year before. Harry Kane says, I know, like, we're getting all the best of recovery, we're the best of training, the best food, the best everything, he says, but see, for me personally, he went, for me to play 3 games in a week, I can't beat my maximum on the third game. He went, it's just impossible for me to be given my full, basically my full fitness, basically. So I can get what he's saying, because if you're not at your peak, then you can't play at your best. So I can see why he's mentioned that. That's for a top player. So it just shows you that these games do have an impact on your tiredness and stuff. So and your fatigue. So I think it's start of December, mate. It's just about really getting the victory. And obviously, let's be fair, you don't want to think too far ahead, but when it gets in the middle of December, you're really thinking about the game at the end of the year. And that's, for me, if you win that, I think you're just about solidifying the league. Just about as the way it stands. So you need to go and keep at least the 5 or 8 points until then. But I think, Alan, for me, I'm the same as you. I think we should have enough to break St Johnstone down. I know Craig Levine can be a bit more defensive than attacking, as we've seen in the past with Scotland stuff, and Hearts as well, he can be a bit defensive. So you would imagine they'll try and frustrate us and maybe put the full team behind the ball, park the bus a wee bit, and then they'll maybe try and get us with a wee mistake or the counter if they can. But you're right, Alan, aye?
Just having a wee coughing fit here, just dying on you go.
You sure?
Aye, no, it's just it was a flat wee tickle I throw it.
Sure.
There you go, aye.
I was just a bit worried there, mate. You're right.
I'm getting there, aye. Don't let me interrupt you.
That's all right. But you would imagine they'll be a bit more defensive, Alan. And we'll obviously have a lot of the ball, and you can find that with the Mace games away in Scotland. So again, we just hope it's not a case of the Motherwell thing where we're really on top of them and it's just sideboard and it's kind of passive. You want a bit more kind of going forward on Sunday, and hopefully that's the case.
Aye. We don't want to see another performance like Motherwell.
Nah, he's all right. I think he's
Aye,
okay.
we're all good.
Cheers.
Aye, thank you for your concern. Mel Ryan showed. No, I think we need to forget about the kind of Motherwell performance. That was kind of flat, lacklustre. We've spoke about it a number of times this week. So I'd be hoping there'd be a bit more kind of creativity and a bit more product to my football on Sunday. Because there is times, as we've spoken about, there is times this season that we have played really good football and we have looked impressive and we've created a lot of chances and put a lot of chances away. So I think there might be a couple of changes when you look at the amount of games that's been played recently, and then an international break, then we've had kind of the Champions League away game, so I think there might be a couple of changes. Obviously suspensions and that during the week as well, so it'll be hard lineup to pick the day. I think there could be a couple of changes, but if we go and we're at the best that we know we can play, and the best that we've played kind of throughout the season, whether it be against Hearts, kind of Aberdeen recently, if we play at that level, I'm pretty sure that we'll come away comfortably with the 3 points.
Aye, I think you're kind of right there, mate. I think it's all about what Celtic do. These teams can obviously try and kind of frustrate you and kind of get you huffing and puffing and then get you maybe rushing things. But I think that's something we can't do. We just need to play our game and be positive, take your time. As much as you want to try and rush things, say it's near the game and you're not really scoring and you're not really creating chances and it's a bit of a rush, you want to just take your time and try and put a performance in and try not get frustrated. I think that's the big thing. You need to try and not get frustrated with these teams because they will try it. But that's when our better players, like your McGregors, your Kyogos, O'Reillys, they need to that's when they need to step up and take the mantle and kind of just calm things down and still keep playing your game. I think that's one thing we can't do in Scotland, Alan, is we don't want to panic, and we've in the last kind of few years we've never really done that. We've never panicked. We've always still played our game. The amount of last minute goals we've scored, people might say it's a fluke. It's not a fluke when you keep doing it year in, year out, and every few weeks you might do it. It's not a fluke. It's just I never say die attitude. The quality's there, the winning mentality's there. Hopefully, it's not getting to that stage on Sunday, Aaron. But I'm agreeing with you, mate. I do think that you should have enough quality, mate. Again, you don't want to sit here and be disrespectful to St Johnstone. They'll come and pose a threat in some sort, I'd imagine. But you'd imagine, Alan, that we have a lot of the ball, and hopefully we'll do a bit more with it this time. And they'll have to maybe rely on a penalty or a dodgy VR decision that we don't want. You want to go and win the game on your own path.
I think we deserve a performance at the weekend. Obviously, that's been the last couple of games that we've played, Motherwell and Lazio, and it has been kind of massively underwhelming, to say the least. There's been very little creativity, very little spark at the top third of the park. So I would obviously, as you say, the 3 points are imperative and the most important thing, but I would really like to see a performance that maybe builds confidence within the team and the squad again, because we have got players there that can hurt teams like St Johnstone in this league. There's no doubt about that. But we've not been shown it recently. We need to get back on that train that we're playing well, because if you're putting in kind of good and great performances, then results always follow that. If you're putting in, you might pick up a win when you're not playing as well, but I'd rather see the team kind of performing to the level that we know they can. And as I say, that's not been the case for the last couple of games. So I'm hoping to see the best of the likes of the players you said, the Kyogo, McGregor, Matt Riley as well. I think the way he started the season's been incredible. Might have dropped a touch or two the last few games. So I'm wanting to see these influential players that we've got kind of get to the top of their game, and if that happens, I think that we should win the game and should win it comfortably.
Big comment from Anjem. Obviously talking about Brendan the board. Obviously, about Brendan says he's got all the say and he signs the players and stuff. And Anjem says he may not be able to tell the board, but I do think his opinions and thoughts are taken into consideration, especially after the shambles that was in Europe and the Champions League this season. Alan, I think that's kind of a good point. Anjem makes it. Everything the manager says to the board should be taken into consideration. It should be thought about in a process where they've got a relationship. I'd imagine the fact that he's come back, Alan, tells me that there's no fault anybody at the board. He's back for a reason. He wants to be here. We are, me personally, me and you, I'd say, are day by day, maybe in a wee small bit capacity. He's maybe came here under a bit of false pretenses with the board. He was going to get this in the summer and this and that. I think January and the summer's going to be where, maybe no January as much, but more the summer, it's going to be the full intentions of the ambition, one for him, and the ambition for the fans as well to progress in Europe. The fans are putting in their money every week. Fans are travelling for every distance around the world, Ireland and everywhere else, and down south England, but also for the top of Scotland, spending a hard-earned money to come and watch your team and get away for European flights and no getting their just rewards, what the fans deserve. So another thing as well, Alan, I'll put to yourself before we end the show, 5-10 minutes to go. Obviously, when Brendan Rodgers, his last spell at Celtic, he only really signed one or two players. I think it was Dembele and Sinclair. I think that was only maybe two or three players that I can remember that came in and really played, and he actually improved a lot of the players that were there. Like your Armstrongs, I think Christie as well. He made Scott Brown. He made Scott Brown into a better player, but Scott Brown was, I think he said he was close to retiring due to his hip, and he made Scott Brown into a fantastic player. He was already a fantastic player, but he made him into a top player. He was getting in the Champions League. I think it was either his distribution or his interception stats was at the top of the tree, and he managed them well, and he made them a fitter player. He made them better. He made them know everything more about the game, and Rodgers he made players better in that spell. I think we're still to see that yet, Aaron. We're still to see players really push on. Maybe Matt O'Reilly, he's improved. Maybe he's pushed him on a wee bit better. Apart from that, maybe Scales, potentially, maybe he's made him a bit better. But apart from that, Aaron, I think we're still to see a bit more about the manager can maybe do for us.
Aye, as you say, he did bring on a lot of players when he was there, but these are kind of players that already had quite a bit of quality as well. So I think the manager kind of must be backed. He's come in here. He's a top level manager. He must have been given reassurances that what kind of budget, and he's accepted the kind of reassurances. At the end of the day, he's a professional and he's doing a job. And at the minute, he's putting his reputation on the line because he's going out and getting skeletons in Europe, which isn't boding well for him as a manager at present. So I think there must have been reassurances made that Rodgers would have been backed. At the minute, I don't think they're fulfilling the promises that have been made, but I'd be hoping to see a big change in January and the summer upcoming.
I think especially January, Alan, I think it's obviously can you wait another 6 months to get another left back or goalkeeper? You can maybe wait in the left back situation, but I think our goalkeeper's probably a priority for me, Alan. I think most teams, just from my own opinion, if you've got a strong goalkeeper and then it bleeds well through the team, you could probably say it about them across the water. They've got, in my opinion, I think Jack Butler's done very well. He's probably their best signing. He's a very good yardstick for them. And the fact that he's keeping them in the games, that's telling you that they're still keeping afloat because he's saving them. There's sometimes issues with Joe Hart. We've seen it, some mistakes he's made, and he wouldn't have made them 5 years ago. So I think a goalkeeper, he probably could see a left back as well, but I think in January, and they're probably two. Maybe I know I'm another striker, but I think the priority would be a left back, a goalkeeper. I think that would, in my opinion, that's probably what the manager would like to be looking for in January.
Aye, I think we've covered that. We've said that and we're blue in the face. I think we said that during the transfer window. Obviously, the Celtic board are the avid viewers of the Unrestricted View podcast, or they would have picked up on that.
Never know, mate. Never know.
Well, they're just digging us in. So,
they're putting it in your... Oh, they must have heard this yesterday because they're putting your Adidas stuff today.
Aye.
They must have heard this yesterday.
So there is kind of places in the team that Leeds obviously added quality. There's no doubt about that. And the recent results in the Champions League and some of the performances I've seen in the domestic form, it's kind of clear. It's anybody can see that. We're just kind of two guys speaking on a podcast, and we're seeing that as clear as day. So I think we've spoken about it plenty, but there is 3 or 4 positions that are kind of crying out that we need to bring in far more quality than that's there just now.
Yeah, I would agree with you, mate. I think it's blue in the face, red in the face, purple in the face. I think we'll probably keep talking about it until the summer and in January the window comes, mate. But I guess just a wee short podcast today, and we will be back on Monday night as usual at 8:30. If you don't know about the podcast and you're just tuning in, we are sponsored by AB Entertainment. AB Entertainment is an entertainment company. It's run by Mr. Alex Beveridge. Sometimes he does comment in the podcast, but he's obviously on his day job at the moment. Alex, fantastic business. He does karaoke, bingo, special birthday parties, weddings, retirement parties, any party at all, anything to do with entertainment packages, Alex will sort you out. All you need to do is contact him on his WhatsApp. Is 07845 746 092. You can also get him on any social media platform, be that TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. You can also contact us in your community section on YouTube, and you can also contact us on all social media platforms, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and our personal TikToks, Twitter as well. Myself, Aaron and JP are on Twitter as well. So if you do want a wee chat or anything like that, just contact us on that. Just keep an eye on the YouTube section. We do update that regularly about the times of the podcast and stuff. Due to circumstances this week, it's been a wee bit up there, but we will be back to normal next week, Monday at 8:30. Again, Alan, overall, mate, how's your feeling about the game of Sunday and moving forward?
Aye, are we going for team predictions? Have we put my neck out the line? You want to?
If you want me to go for it, fire away.
That's going to be a hard one. Heart and goal. It'll be Johnston, Carter Vickers, Lurovsky. You'll see, I think you've seen the kind of training video as well. He looks as if he's should be right back fit. So I'd say Lurovsky, Taylor. I think it'll be Callum McGregor, O'Reilly, and I think Turnbull will play this game. And I think it'll be Palmer, Mikey Johnston, and Keogh. So it's a bit of I threw a couple of wild ones out there, but aye.
No, I think you know my views, mate. I think Lurovsky, again, I know it might sound daft about judging players, but just see what I've seen from him before he got injured. He just looked a progressive centre back. He looked good with the ball at his feet. He was always passing the ball. What I like is the ball going forward all the time. And as soon as you get the ball, it was always what played forward. Then there's side to side, and even when he played it forward. Even when he passed the ball, it might have been to the side, but in terms of when Vickers, he was playing it forward to Vickers, so Vickers could step onto it and move. I think sometimes I noticed it during the Lazio game, some of the things they were doing, we were passing the ball, but you're passing them like right to their feet instead of guys that run onto it. And for me, the momentum stops when you do that. if you play it forward and the attack can go forward. So I would like Nerowski to play. I think he'll probably play Scales. I think we'll try and keep a bit continuity at the back. But Lagerbielke and Nerowski, I think they've got to get more game time, especially when you're paying just about £8 million for two centre-backs. I don't see any harm in giving Liam Scales a break. He's played a lot of games recently, considering he's really played a lot of games for Celtic and since he signed. So I think it's maybe a wee rest for Lagerbielke or Nerowski. Be that if it's Vickers that sits out or Scales, who knows. But I'm going to go with your head, Al. I'm not going to say who'll play instead of one of them, but I'd imagine Lagerbielke or Nerowski might come in for one of the centre-backs. I'd imagine might play Ralston. Guy Johnson a wee break. I know it's a hard game against Lazio. I think he'll play Taylor. I'd like to see Bernabei playing game time, but I don't want him to make too many changes, if that makes sense. So I'll stick with Taylor. In midfield, I think he might play Turnbull. I think he'll play Turnbull in with O'Reilly and McGregor. I think Palmer will come back in. And I think Mikey Johnston plays well with Palmer, and I think it'll be Kyogo. I think Palmer can be back in. He'll be fresh, free suspension. And I think Mikey Johnston was a wee bit more energetic than Yang and than Forrest, and he only played about 21 minutes or so. So I would go with Johnson, mate. Hopefully we get a good performance, but the main thing is get the 3 points and get up the road. And we're not too cold and freezing because the looks at the weather starting to turn. So hopefully it's a warm day for the fans, albeit warm by a victory. So take care, mate, overall the weekend. Have a good weekend. Stay safe. Anybody else, thanks for tuning in. Just a wee short and sweet podcast today. We're back on Monday at 8:30, and I'll see you then. Take care. Hail, hail.
Hail, hail.